I still remember the moment everything shifted. The moment I realized that the world was seeing a completely different version of me than the one screaming inside my own chest. It was early morning, or maybe late night. In postpartum, time stops making sense. I was holding my newborn, hair stuck to my face with dried tears, hands shaking from exhaustion. And then he looked straight at me and said, "You're overreacting." And for a split second, I believed him. Because that's what happens when you're exhausted, hormonal, invisible, and emotionally falling apart. You believe the lie that your pain is too loud, too much, too inconvenient. But the truth was simple. I wasn't overreacting. I was breaking. Before I take you with me through this story, through the unraveling, the breaking, and the rebuilding, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment "I'm listening," so this message reaches other mothers who feel just as unseen. Let me tell you what really happened. It wasn't the sentence itself, it was the timing. I was at my limit. Not the dramatic limit people imagine, the quiet one. The limit that looks like breathing too fast, blinking back tears, feeling your heart race for no reason, and yet trying desperately to look normal. I had spent the whole day holding our baby, feeding, changing, rocking, repeating the same motions like a machine with a fraying wire. I hadn't eaten properly. I hadn't slept. My body hurt in ways I didn't have vocabulary for. And then, when I finally said, "I can't do this right now. I need a minute," he sighed, rubbed his forehead, and said, "You're being dramatic." It was like someone took the air out of the room. My heart didn't just sink. It folded, because in that moment, I realized I wasn't being seen at all. Not as a mother, not as a woman, not as a human being. And that's when the silence inside me began. The kind of silence where you stop fighting, because you already know you've lost. People think breakdowns look like screaming or crying on the floor, but mine didn't. Mine looked like functioning. It looked like warming bottles with numb hands rocking the baby while staring at the wall answering texts with "We're great." Smiling at visitors folding laundry I couldn't remember folding inside. I was collapsing quietly. I would wake up from a 20-minute nap with my heart racing as if I'd been running. I would hold the baby and feel tears forming before I even knew why. I would stand in the shower, letting the water hit my back, wishing I could just disappear for a moment. Not die, just stop existing long enough to breathe. I thought I was failing, but really I was carrying a weight no one else could see. People kept telling me I looked fine, and the more they said it, the more invisible I felt. Because I was falling apart and no one noticed. If someone had told me then what I know now, I would have been gentler with myself. Right after birth, your hormones don't shift, they crash. Estrogen and progesterone drop faster than almost any point in a woman's life. Your brain, still recovering from pregnancy, is flooded by chemicals that heighten fear, anxiety, and emotional sensitivity. It wasn't overreaction, it was biology. Add that to severe sleep deprivation, physical pain, breastfeeding challenges, constant alertness, and a tiny human who depends entirely on you, and your nervous system becomes overloaded. My heart racing? Normal. My tears? Normal. My irritability? Normal. My emotional intensity? Completely normal. But nobody told me that. Instead, I was told I was too sensitive, too emotional, too reactive. No, I wasn't too anything. I was a woman in postpartum. And my body was desperately trying to keep me alive. The hardest part wasn't the exhaustion, it was the erasure. People minimized everything I felt. Every mom goes through this. "You'll get over it. You're just tired. You're making things worse than they are. You need to be stronger." Every time someone said something like that, it chipped away at my sense of reality. I started thinking, maybe I am weak. Maybe I really should handle this better. Maybe my feelings are too intense. Invalidation doesn't quiet your pain, it magnifies it, because suddenly, you're not just struggling. You're struggling in silence, trying to prove something that no mother should ever need to, that her pain is real. and slowly I stopped asking for help, stopped sharing, stopped expressing anything at all. I became a version of myself who was quiet, withdrawn, numb. Not because I wanted to be, but because I learned that speaking hurt more than silence. My breaking point didn't look dramatic. It looked small. It was 3:12 a.m. The baby had been crying for almost an hour. I had fed, rocked, changed, repeated the cycle again. My arms ached. My back felt like it was splitting. My eyes burned. I whispered, "I need help." And he said, half asleep, "You're overreacting again." And that was it. Something inside me shattered. Not loudly, but quietly, like glass cracking under pressure. I walked to the nursery, sat on the floor, and held the baby against my chest. And for the first time, I stopped trying to hold myself together. I cried, silently, so silently, because even in my breaking, I was scared of being too much. My body wasn't functioning anymore. My mind wasn't functioning anymore. My heart felt empty and overwhelmed at the same time. That wasn't weakness. It was collapse. My body had been whispering, "I can't," for weeks. That night, it finally screamed. Healing didn't begin with a big decision. It began with tiny moments of honesty. The next morning, with puffy eyes and shaky hands, I finally said the truth. I'm not okay. Not angrily. Not dramatically. Just truthfully. And things began to shift. Started naming my feelings instead of hiding them. I'm overwhelmed. I'm anxious. I'm scared. I'm exhausted. I asked for help. Real help. Not the "I'm fine" version. I let myself take 10-minute breaks. I lowered the impossible expectations. I stopped trying to be the perfect mother. I started trying to be a human mother. I reached out to a therapist. I let myself cry without apologizing. I rebuilt myself in small pieces, not because I was strong, but because I was finally allowed to be human. And slowly, I returned to myself. Looking back, I realized something powerful. I didn't break because I was weak. I broke because I was carrying too much for too long without support. If you've ever been told you're overreacting, I hope my story helps you see the truth. Your feelings are real. Your exhaustion is real. Your breaking point is real. And you deserve help long before you reach it. Comment below, "I've felt this." Your story may reach a mother who is silently collapsing right now. Like, share, and subscribe so no woman goes through this unseen. And if no one told you today, I see you. You matter. You deserve care.